So Jacobin, they're a gold mine. They always, if I wanted to find like a really ridiculous dumb article just to get my blood boiling, they hardly ever fail. I mean, sometimes they have a profile on a musician or something that passed away, but usually it's like mining gold. And today they did not disappoint. They have an article with title "It's Time to Eliminate Water Bills." Okay, so here's the thing. Like, so first of all, if you're on the left and you're environmentally conscious, you understand that people only conserve things when they pay for them. Let's say I have a house that I've rented out before, and I rented it per room. And with those tenants, all the bills were on my name. And you would not believe what people did as far as just leaving leaving the water on, leaving the shower on, leaving the gas heat on, and just walk like. And as soon as you put the bills on the tenant's name, all landlords, like any experienced landlord, knows that and can tell you. As soon as you put the tenant's name on the bills, usage would drop down by 35 to 40%. So basically, people need to, this is like we don't have the fusion reactor right now. It costs resources and money to provide electricity. It costs resources and money to provide water. So if people are actually paying for their own water and electricity, they're going to use a lot less because they're going to economize. I have another friend, a buddy of mine. He's living in a big apartment complex, not big, but 4-unit. His landlord pays the water. He would turn the shower on. All of a sudden, he'd get a phone call. He would just start chatting on the phone, 45, 50 minutes to phone conversation, and then jump in the shower. And I told him, like, hey, well, why don't you just turn the water on? He's like, yeah, who cares? My landlord's paying for that. So the amount of pure waste you're going to get providing something for free is ridiculous. And not to mention just how ass backwards this is. How everything is it's just so messed up. It's like, well, if the government pays your water bill, then why not electricity? Then why not pay your sewer? Then not pay this, and that? So basically, the government is like your parent, your guardian. Like, what? At this point, you can have the government pay all your bills. Is that what you want to do? Like, are you like the government's literally your pimp? Like, you go to work. That's how prostitution operates. Like, a hooker goes to work on the street, gives all her money to the pimp, and the pimp manager's like, oh, you get $20 for like some spending to get your nails did. Here, we're paying your rent or whatever, like why would you want a system like this? Wouldn't you want a society where people are independent and can pay for their own resources that they use? But this is just so ridiculous. I can't even believe a grown person would suggest this. But wow, let's see. I haven't read this article. Maybe they have some incredibly awesome reasoning and logic behind this. Americans regularly lose access to water simply because they are poor and unable to pay their bills. Water bills are cruel and unnecessary. We should just get rid of them. But you don't. Do you even see like the first idiot misstep right here? The obvious thing is we still have the water bill. Still costs resources to provide them. So you're just transferring that burden to somebody else. And on top of that, making it so people don't economize on this. In the middle of national's largest spike yet of COVID-19 pandemic, one of the most critical resources needed to keep people healthy is clean water for drinking and hand washing. Outside of the pandemic, one of the most basic necessity. Oh my God, most basic necessity of life, without which human life couldn't exist. But this is a non sequitur. It doesn't mean that the government should pay for people's water. But United States, people are regularly lose access to water simply because they're poor and unable to pay their water bills. So how many people actually... Oh, okay, here we go. Here, they're going. Astonished by some estimates, more than 2 million people in the United States do not have running water and sanitation in their homes. Water utilities shut off water because to about 1 out of every 20 people, or close to 15 million every year from non-payment, unsurprisingly affecting racial minorities more than others. Well, this barbaric... Okay, so, yeah, some people might have running water, but is it the demographic of people just living in the wilderness? People not living in cities? Because mostly everybody that's living in a city has running water. And your water bills are typically pretty low if you conserve, if you're just responsible about, turning the water off when you don't need it. Water bill should run $100 to $150. Anybody with any kind of job should be able to afford water. And the thing is, what these dummies don't understand is people respond to incentives. You want incentives in society and life. There needs to be an incentive for people to go to work. Because if everything's provided for free, people are people are less likely to work. And our society basically runs on people doing mutually beneficial things for each other. So why would you just... You're not helping anybody. You're making society worse. In the wealthiest country in the world, I love that they keep saying that, it doesn't have to be this way. Yes, it doesn't have to be. We can provide free water for everybody. That's true. But there'd be so much waste. Throughout the pandemic, we've caught a glimpse of alternatives. Though the federal government declined to pass national moratorium on water shutoffs. In some states, some cities have passed laws to prevent utility shutoffs during the pandemic. Now, Omicron variant threatens to overwhelm the failing U.S. medical system. No, it doesn't. Quit hyperventilating. This is bullshit. Omicron is just basically the flu. These moratoriums expiring, and utilities are threatening again to deny people water. Even before a pandemic, water is too expensive for many poor people to afford, so passing a new moratorium on a water shutoff or even canceling the debt of people behind on their water bills would only be a partial or temporary measure. In New Orleans, more than 75% of low-income residents have water bills that industry analysts say are unaffordable. In order to ensure that the greatest number of people possible always have water to drink or to bathe, governments must permanently ensure that non-payment of water bills can never lead to shutoffs. Then why would you... What? Then why would you ever pay for the water if it never gets shut off? What is this person smoking? Who wrote this? Kendall Dix. That's got to be a pen name. While the federal government has created temporary low-income water assistance programs modeled for low-income energy. Okay, well, I mean, I'm not for that, but at least that's more reasonable. Like... Governments insisted in guaranteeing clean water should be wary of means-tested programs. LIHPAP has one of the lowest participation rates of any low-income assistance programs because of chronic underfunding and difficult paperwork requirements designed to keep people... Or how about just the water bill is so cheap that you don't have to jump through all these bureaucratic hoops. If it was like free rent, people would just, suffer and go through all these hoops, but it's much easier just to pay $100 in your $100 or whatever a month just to keep your water on. My new paper, Water for All. But why not Groceries for All? Why not Fun for All? Why not Unicorns for All? Published by the People's Policy Project, argues that even just people's, the word people, that's already like a red flag right here. It's like people's, like, what is, like communist China, like People's Country of Democratic Republic of North Korea or something, argues that the best solution to this problem is to eliminate residential water bills and for fund water utilities entirely through taxes. Water utilities already rely heavily on funding from federal, state, and local governments to build, maintain water infrastructure. They collect user fees through water bills to help cover the rest of their expense. Well, how about, here's a better idea, eliminate all these subsidies and just eliminate the subsidies, eliminate the taxes, and have people who actually use the water pay the full amount. Because then if it actually is a lot higher, then people are going to use less. And if actually it's cheaper, people are going to use more. Why should the taxpayers subsidize people filling up swimming pools or taking 2-hour showers? Like, why? Any level of government could simply choose to turn the knob on the public funding all the way up, while turning the knob on water bills down to zero. Yeah, I get that point. Not only would this guarantee that income would no longer be a barrier to water service, it would eliminate the hassle of paying monthly water bills for everyone. Most frequent objection to limited water bills is that rates and user fees help to deter overconsumption of water. This concern is misguided at best. I have fucking personal experience of this. People use 35 to 40% more water if one is paid for by somebody else. This concern is misguided at best. Private households count for just 8% of the total water usage in the United States. Well, it would be 16% if people could just run their water tabs unlimited. The rest of it's used by agriculture and heavy industry. Oh, God. Water demand also tends to be inelastic, meaning that the rates have little effect on how much water a household uses. That's a flat out lie. Yeah, I mean, rates, like if you need to take a shower, you need to take a shower, or wash your hands, you wash your hands. And if the rates go up 30%, you're still going to, do those same activities. But there's a huge difference between you paying for water, or your household paying for water, or it's free. Because when it's free, that's when the complete waste comes in. I mean, I knew the people Jacobin are pretty stupid, but I think they hit a new low. No matter how much water costs, people still need to drink, cook, bathe, and clean their homes. And there are better ways to reduce water consumption through fixing leaky pipes, maintaining low-flow fixtures, and limiting superfluous uses like lawn watering. What the? Universal water access is a basic human right that any functioning society should ensure for its citizens, especially during a pandemic. See, this fucking pandemic, man. These leftists always operate on emergencies because the shit that they want to get past wouldn't pass the smell test. It just wouldn't. So they need an emergency. Oh, there's a pandemic. Oh, we have an emergency, a poverty emergency. Or racism is an emergency. Like, it's always an emergency as an excuse to pass their bullshit cockamamie schemes. The most equitable way to do this is to eliminate user fees and fund water services entirely through taxation. Yeah, you want the government to be your dad, basically. Or your pimp. We're currently killing poor people by denying them water. Okay, what's the death count? What are the figures? 100,000 people? 200,000 people? 2 million? It's to stop doing that and make water free and available for everyone. Dude, this guy does not have two brain cells to rub together.